Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow. One thing I noticed is that we talk a lot about polarizations in
Mhm.
people's systems, right? So a part of me wants to do this, a part of me doesn't. And what I noticed pretty clearly as an assistant in the trainings, in practice groups, right, where one person's a therapist, one person's a client, and one person's observer, is the polarization between the therapist part and the client part. That one, a lot of times, is not really noticed. It's like, oh, I'm having a hard time in this session and so on. It's like, I'm watching it. I'm like, well, because there's a really strong polarization between your part and their part.
Yeah, much of my supervision anymore isn't giving people advice so much as helping them find the parts of them that are getting in the way. And it's amazing because they'll come in and say, I'm totally stuck. I've got this very resistant client. And I'll have them, okay, find the part that feels so stuck and get it to step back a little bit. And suddenly they see the client in a totally different way and they see all kinds of avenues to change. And it was just this part that was blocking their vision.
Yeah. I find that in myself, and I find that really clearly in my clients because
Mm.
most of my clients are executives or owners or people in senior leadership positions, right? And they're typically coming in because it's like, oh, I need help because, just between us, this is not working right, or I'm doing all these things at work and my family situation is falling apart. But, I grew up and I had a good life. I don't have any issues from that, so it's like, okay. hmm And I had a recent where someone brought me like a full plan of, okay, this is what we're going to do in these coaching sessions. I was like, holy cow. Because when I looked at it, I was like, at least 70% of these I don't really have any clue on. You know what I mean? I can't be like a consultant on that. I have zero background information on these things. And I was worried. Like my parts were like about a few minutes before the session was like, dude, you're going to fail today because you know nothing about these things. And so we started to meet and they were going over their checklist. And I'm like, well, let me invite you and just ask if you want to try this a little bit different. Let me see if I can guide you through yourself a bit. And then let's see where we come up with this. And we did it that way. And by the end of the session, they had come to all the realizations and did the work and so on. And it was like the best session I think I've had that was, I mean, it wasn't so much of a big unburdening that went on, but the clarity in before, because I'm asking on a scale of 0 to 10, right? How clear are you on this? And it's like 2. And at the end, it's like 10. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, that was so much easier actually, like facilitation wise, than trying to come up with all my own brilliant ideas. And I have to constantly be reminded of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Evan. That's what I've come to do when I supervise now, which, like you said, is so much easier and usually much more helpful to the client because that's going to help them in their life in general, not just where they're stuck. So, yeah, it's quite amazing.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.